Hi, I'm Gail and welcome back to lowcarbrecipe.ideas.com. Today we're going to make a low-carb pizza casserole. It's very simple to make. It's a little bit of work with the butternut squash that we're going to use today, but other than that it's quite simple, but boy, it is so tasty. I'm positive you're really going to enjoy it. So let's get started and I'll show you how to make it. Like I said, I find the butternut squash the hardest part of the whole recipe. So we're going to just cut off the ends, and then I'm going to cut it off here. And then we're just going to take off the skin. And I'm going to have to get another knife here. So we want to take off the skin on our butternut squash, and then we're going to put it, I'm going to use my spiralizer. Now, you don't really have to use it. You can just cut this butternut squash into thin, tiny slices and just lay in the bottom of your pan. But I'm going to use the spiralizer because it works really, really well, and I just have fun using it. So if you have one at home, that would be awesome that you're able to use that. And I'm going to peel it off of the bottom half also. Now we have the seeds in this section, so we're going to have to divide it up so we don't get the seeds in there. So the base of the butternut squash, I'm going to just cut down the center, and then we're going to take out the innards, the seeds and stuff, because we don't want that when we're doing our spiralizing. And I just shot a bunch on the floor. It's really worth the little extra effort you got to make with this squash. It definitely is, because I think you're really going to enjoy it. I just love it. Just love this recipe. There we go. It's really neat. There's so many vegetables you can put on this thing and get your spaghetti noodles or shavings. It's up to you what you want. But I just wanted to demonstrate to show you. And go a little bit more, and then we end up having this left over, which you can just chop up. So you just got this left over from shaving. It's really, really interesting. So the bottom half of the butternut squash, because of its shape, it doesn't work very well with the spiralizer. So I'm just going to take a potato peeler or my knife and just make small slices that I can put it in, because I don't want to waste it. So I've got it all shredded here into zucchini noodle, or sorry, butternut squash noodles, and I'm just going to put it in a Pyrex dish, just like that. Then we're going to take my herbamare, and I'm just going to sprinkle a little on it, just to give it that little bit of extra flavor. So I'm just lifting it up and putting on some herbamare. And if you do not know this spice, you've got to get to know this spice. It's absolutely delicious. It's herbamare. This is the original. Then you can also get spicy. I usually pick it up at Costco because it's the best price compared to other places around. But hopefully you can find it. It's very mild, but has such great flavor added to your food. So I just sprinkled it in here and set it aside here. Now, I didn't use the base of the butternut squash. I chopped it all up into small pieces. I'm going to put the herbamare in here, and I'm just going to put foil over top, and I'm going to throw it in the oven when I throw in my other dish, because I didn't need this much. And so try and get a small butternut squash when we're shopping. And it cooks faster when it's fine like this. And the squashes in general are really hard to cut. So if you can use one of these, it makes it so much quicker and easy. But look how beautiful that is. Great noodles. And the thing is, when I make this recipe, it goes into mush. Like, it doesn't stay like noodles, so you're not pulling it out as a noodle. So it just makes it easier if you can make it, if you can shred it up like this. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to take 2 tablespoons of, I'm using avocado oil, but you can use olive oil in our skillet. I just love this avocado oil, and it takes the temperature quite well. And then we're going to put in 1 large crushed garlic clove. Actually, I'm going to grab one and kind of give you an idea as to the size I did. Now, it was a little bit smaller than this, but I used, my garlic cloves are so large that I buy. And so I used one about this size, a little bit smaller, but I crushed it all up. And then we're going to just get this going, and then we're going to add in our chopped up onion. So we're going to put in my chopped up onion, and it was basically a small onion, and it was 85 grams. So we're going to saute these till they're transparent, they're cooked, and then we're going to add the rest of our ingredients. So that took about 8 minutes to get the onion cooked. Now we're going to put in a bell pepper, and I've chopped it up, and I weighed it once I took off the top and took out the seeds and stuff, and it was 77 grams. So it was, to me, it was a small pepper. Normally I use red bell peppers, but I bought a package that had orange and yellow and red in, and I already used it, so we're going to use the orange ones, but it has a great flavor also, so it's not a big deal. Now the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you the package that I buy. Now if you're in Ontario, Canada, you need to go to Food Basics and look for authentic 100% Canadian pork, no preservatives added. Sorry about that. And I'm using the hot Italian. I really like, this recipe does have a kick to it. You can use the mild if you would like, but I quite like it. And here's how large the sausages are. You can see that. And what I've done is I've taken the skin off of them, and I've sort of made them into ground pork, because first time I made this recipe, I put them in, took the skin off, put them in solid, and then tried breaking them up, and it took me a long time to break them up. So I just kind of learned from experimenting that you can just break it up a lot easier when you already worked at it before you put it in the frying pan. So you want your pieces to be small, so I'll keep working at this to break them up, and we're going to cook till our pork is cooked up. So I think I've got the pinkness out of the pork, and now we're going to be adding our tomatoes, and I've chopped our tomatoes up, and it works out to be about 285 grams of chopped up fresh tomatoes. And this is actually the size that I use. I use 4 of them, just to give you the idea if you don't happen to have a scale. So we're going to add in the tomatoes. And then I've got pepperoni. I have 30 slices of pepperoni that I'm going to throw in there. Now I use pillars. Topping 10 of them gives you 1 net carb, or 1 carb, so that's pretty awesome. I'm going to stir this up. And then the last thing we're going to do, and this is optional, you don't have to put in the olives, the black olives, but I'm going to put in, it's just over a 1/4 cup of black olives, and I'm just looking for the carb count, 63 grams, sorry, of black olives. So we're going to throw them in also. And stir this up. Now, that's one thing I find with this particular sausage that I buy. There's no fat. And if you end up buying a different sausage, which I'm sure you'll have to, you're going to have to drain, you know, the fat off of this mixture before you put it on top of your butternut squash. But that's up to you. If you like a little bit of extra fat or grease in there, that's okay too. But this is really a healthy meal. It's good for you, and it tastes delicious. I really like it that it's got that spice in the sausage, because it gives it that kick. So we're almost finished. Now we just have to lay all our meat ingredients on top. My skillet is very heavy here. This is the one I absolutely love, but when I get older I'm going to be in trouble because I'm not going to be able to pick it up. So we're just going to spread it around. It smells delicious. The combination is amazing. If you don't like this, I'll be very, very surprised, because I just love it. I can make it quite often. And then I'm going to use about 50 grams of shredded, I'm using marbled cheese. You can use any kind of cheese that you want. And just sprinkle that on top. Now we're going to have the oven preheated at 425, and we're going to put this in the middle rack, covered, and we'll leave it in there for about 25 minutes, and then it's all ready to be served. There we go. So here is my low-carb butternut squash pizza casserole. It's so delicious, guys. You've got to give this one a try. Really good. I put too much in my mouth. Great combination. You can eat it. You can make it without the olives if you don't like olives, because some people don't like olives, but it just gives that little extra. And if you do a spicy sausage, it gives it a kick, and it's quite nice. Or you can do it mild. It's up to you. Or use sweet potato. It's still healthy. I know the carb count's higher, but sweet potato is a lot healthier than using pastas and that kind of stuff. Or use your zucchini. I find the zucchini, it's a little bit more runnier, but it's still delicious. So if you go to lowcarbrecipe.com, you should give this one a try. It's really, really good. Or try some of my other ones. Anyway, you take care. I'll see you in the next video. Bye now. It's delish.